Here's Joe Scarborough assuring you that Biden is just fine. That, all of this fretting about his mental faculties is nonsense, lies. Here's Joe Scarborough laying down the law.
Brace yourself if you haven't seen this, because you're about to be shocked. I know you think you can't be shocked anymore. Get ready.
Get ready. They call this in the industry jumping the shark. Jumping the shark. That's why I put it in the thumbnail. This is Morning Joe jumping the shark.
But comparing that guy's mental state, I've said it for years now. He's cogent. But I undersold him when I said he was cogent. He's far beyond cogent. In fact, I think he's better than he's ever been. Intellectually, analytically, because he's been around for 50 years. And, I don't know if people know this or not, Biden used to be a hothead. Sometimes that Irishman would get in front of the reasoning. Sometimes he would say things he didn't want to say. This is, and
so basically he's saying he was always kind of a moron, which
I
is
don't
true
need
enough.
this. I don't need this working class hero crap.
I mean, that is true enough. He's always been kind of an idiot and a nasty guy.
He's less of an idiot now. Okay.
Right, yeah, exactly.
All right.
That seems to be what he's saying so far. Hey, look, I knew this guy. He used to make gaffes all the time. He's always said shit that he didn't mean to say. So now he's actually better. Yes, that's right. He's better than he's ever been. His mental state is better than ever, according to MSNBC.
When you're half dead, you're not as prone to temper tantrums. You don't have the energy. You're not able to muster up the energy to throw a tantrum.
Right, he's mellower. Exactly.
Unless it's because they're late with your pudding.
Right. Yeah, like he seems mellower than he used to. I mean, he used to be a real nasty bastard, right? He used to say, we need to lock these sons of bitches up, right? I don't care why they are the way they are. I know they hit my mother in the head, so lock them up. Like he used to be a real belligerent
I'm not going to tell you who they are, but you know.
you know who they are. Exactly. Like, he used to be a real belligerent asshole. He's mellowed temperamentally in his old age, but that doesn't mean he's all there. But he's not done.
I don't really, you know what? I don't really care. Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth.
Oh, yeah.
And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. And I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it. And
I mean, the thing, I mean, there's a million ways in which that's crazy. But one way you might not think of is that Biden always had a reputation for being kind of dumb. Like in the Obama White House, he was kind of the, he was kind of the fuck up. He was the ne'er-do-well, right? We brought you in here so that the white people in Western Pennsylvania would vote for us and we'd win Pennsylvania. The white people in Eastern Ohio would vote for us and we win Ohio. Like, you were brought here to appeal to white Midwestern voters so that they didn't think that by voting for Barack Obama, they were voting for Malcolm X, right? Exactly. And so that's why he was there. They didn't actually respect him. So he's always had a reputation for being a bit of a dumbass. And so that just makes this extra special, because part of what you're saying that, he's the best he's ever been, like temperamentally, that's probably true. But intellectually, it's so absurd. Like, it's insane, obviously. I mean, these are the lies they will tell themselves. Because what's the sound drop, Russell? I mean, this was partly that, right? We have our Bark at the Moon sound drop here. I'm surprised you didn't play
Bark at the Moon.
I mean, that's really what that is. You're signaling to the audience. You're doing a performance. The audience wants to feel confident in Joe Biden heading into this big State of the Union speech and heading into the general election campaign now that Super Tuesday is in the rearview mirror. They want to be reassured. You're the newsman on the liberal network. Your job is to give them the emotional reassurance that they seek when they turn on the TV to watch you. And that's what he does, even if it is as just transparently absurd as what he said.
Well, their entire business model relies on this Monarchian worldview of bad Republicans and good Democrats. And the worst thing you can ever say about Democrats within this world is that they're naive or they're too smart for their own good. And it gets in the way of communicating to the troglodytes. Right.
Right.
You know, the Democrats have to get better with their messaging. They're too intellectual. That's the most common criticism you'll see in these quarters. It's the only criticism, really, that they're too smart for their own good. And as a result, it puts a wedge between them and the idiots that they need to vote for them, who are voting against their own best interests that they don't see because the Democrats are not dumbing it down enough for them. That's what, insofar as there's a critique, that's it. How do you take Joe Biden, who is clearly in severe age-related cognitive decline, and pump that up as the good guys versus the bad guys? And this is the result. I mean, what else can you do other than to go full state TV? You just got to go full North Korea on it. You know, It's just our dear leader has never been better. He has never been wiser. He has never been smarter than he is now. Don't you all agree, dear comrades?
Yeah. Yeah. And it really shows just how joined at the hip they are to the Democratic Party itself. Like in 2016, Chuck Todd did a segment talking about how the Bernie people were complaining that they were being treated unfairly by the DNC. Debbie Wasserman Schultz sent him a message, email or something, saying, we don't appreciate that coverage. And they stopped. Because, look, if you actually have severe Trump derangement syndrome, as MSNBC does, you guys have a direct line to the brain of the Democratic primary voter. Like, if you really feared Trump as much as you say you do, you could, more than anyone else, actually influence the party to swap Joe Biden out. But they're not doing it. They're doubling down. It just shows you how they're one and the same. They are just the propaganda arm of the Democratic Party. They're not just cheerleaders. If you were a good cheerleader, you would be saying we need to swap him out. He can't do it. This is insane.
Like Jon Stewart.
Yeah, like Jon Stewart tried to do. He tried to do them a favor. And look what happened. Look what happened. That's what they would be doing if they cared. Well, some of these sincere libs, like Bob Costas, have said, this is insane. This is suicidal. The emperor has no clothes. That's obvious. He can't do it. Why aren't more people like me saying it? Well, because the media and the White House are one and the same. It's really tough to see where one begins and one ends.
Well, we saw a lot of that come out thanks to WikiLeaks. How these emails go back and forth, phone calls go back and forth between the Hillary campaign and the networks. They call them up and complain when they don't like the coverage. Which, why do they even have that kind of access? But more to the point, why are they listened to? Why are they indulged? This is why somebody like Ed Schultz couldn't survive on MSNBC. They'll get phone calls from the Democratic National Committee. Hey, why did you have that person on? Why did you allow them to do this segment? We've seen it. We've seen the emails. We've seen the communications. They gave Donna Brazile the questions in advance. What was it, for the CNN debate? Yeah, exactly. They gave Hillary I think it was the death penalty question in advance, which I remember watching that because that was a tough question. Like when they asked it, I was kind of excited. Wow, how is she going to answer this? Because not only was it a tough question, but it's on an issue that doesn't get talked about a lot. Right. And she was there like, boom, like she had it ready to go. She had a scripted answer ready to go. I'm like, damn, I didn't know. I mean, Hillary's not that talented a politician. I'm surprised she was that good on that question. Well, now we know why. Because she got the question in advance and they prepped it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm seeing this in the social media verse where, the libs are, starting to spread their memes. So I'm going to pitch this right on the air. At least through the election, I want to do a segment once a week, lib memes of the week. It'll be a good laugh and it'll be good for my psychological health because I just have to rant about some of what I'm seeing.
Please clap.